The Trump administration now calls Seattle an anarchist jurisdiction, and it's more than just words. It could be the reason the federal government withholds millions of dollars in funding. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joyce Taylor.
I'm Greg Copeland. Is this a political ploy to fire up his base, the latest salvo in a culture war, or legitimate legal move aimed at cities battling protests? This all stems, of course, from riots earlier this year that caused injuries and property damage, as well as a standoff for several weeks at the so-called chop zone.
Seattle is just one of 3 cities with the new label. Also on the list, Portland and New York City. As you can imagine, the distinction is not sitting well with a lot of people.
And King 5's Chris Daniels begins our top story coverage tonight.
Good evening. The Justice Department claim sets up perhaps another court fight with the city of Seattle, and it's all related to what happened here on Capitol Hill. Overlooking Elliott Bay, it is clear. The birds are chirping and the runners are robust. You could almost call it peaceful. Yet today, the Justice Department labeled Seattle a city of anarchy, trumpeting in a press release that the city is a jurisdiction permitting violence and destruction of property.
I just woke up this morning to find that I was living in an anarchist jurisdiction, whatever that is.
By the DOJ's interpretation, putting the city in position to lose federal funding.
It is abhorrent, it's inhumane, and we need our federal partners to step up.
Seattle's council and mayor both scoffed at the characterization, with Jenny Durkin calling it a gross misuse of federal power and blatantly unlawful, adding Attorney General Bill Barr's obsession with Seattle and me is irrational. The DOJ specifically cited the June handling and since disbanded Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, and that crime rose 525% in its nearly month of existence.
We have been having peaceful days and nights ever since the summer. So I really don't see what the idea is in terms of labeling this city or any city an anarchist jurisdiction.
The city's budget office says it received $82 million in federal dollars in 2019, which in theory would be at stake. Yet a previous White House attempt to withhold money because of sanctuary city status has been tied up in the courts. And that would likely be the case again, even if a different view paints a different picture. Congress in the past has pushed to end federal transit spending related to issues like a uniform speed limit and uniform age limit for alcohol consumption. So there are questions, legal questions, about all of this, and it was pointed out by more than one person today. There have been similar issues in states like Wisconsin and Minnesota, but the DOJ said nothing about them today, and both of those states are considered swing states in the coming fall election. In Seattle, Chris Daniels, King 5 News.